Hi guys, back in the UK, Southwest United Kingdom. I know most of you are asleep by the time you watch this, but I'm at home. I've just brought my son home from school, Tino, who is 3, and I just got myself a nice cup of tea, and I wanted to talk about a few things. Firstly, just so you know a little bit more about me, I'm 50. Tino, you gonna wave? I'm on live now. Oh, okay. Tina's being moody, but you need just be a little bit quiet, please. Otherwise, beats. Oi, he's 3 years old. He's rude and mouthy, and not nice to me. So, I'm 56, nearly 57 in July, and I'm semi-retired at the moment. My thing is I'm a landlord, but my other hobby is I restore classic cars, and I also have a diet channel in relation to how I eat, because I used to have medical problems, mainly to do with my stomach, and I found that the best way for me to fix my medical problems was I cut out sugar, reduced carbs, and started eating more meat, eggs, and fish. I cut out pasta and rice and bread. And by stopping those foods and increasing my protein intake and my fat intake, animal fats, I stopped Marge, I stopped vegetable oils, and I use more natural oils like animal fats and avocado oil, or is it tallow you call it over there? And just I don't eat any of the processed vegetable oils or the seed oils, or is it rapeseed oils? By getting rid of all of that, and I stopped drinking fizzy drinks and alcohol, and mainly only drinking water, I did reverse my pre-diabetes. I lost weight, I regained my health, and my energy levels shot back up. So I'm not trying to get you lot to do my diet. A lot of people will call it a carnivore diet, but I do have a little bit of salad, a little bit of fruit. But fruit, I find, has a lot of sugar in it. It can upset my stomach. Salad is good, but not too much. Anyway, so that's that for that side of things. Anyway, so a quick going over of the video I've been doing today. I've been breaking down a video that's with Lisa Marie Presley, talking about her children 12 years ago, talking about Riley Keough, and she had just made a film. It's called The Something Doctor, which you can get free on YouTube. Because as soon as I looked up that film, I went onto YouTube, because sometimes YouTube will have free films. So let me see if I can go on it. Oh, I think it's called The Good Doctor. Look it up. It is a good film. It's on YouTube. It's completely free, and I think you'd enjoy it. Lisa Marie is talking about how she encouraged Riley Keough to take more serious dramatic roles, and she did go on to do Mad Max, which I'll be honest with you, I didn't really like Mad Max that she was in. But, I mean, she is a great actress. So she's talking about what she wants for her children. It's going to be a 5-part series I'm doing. And so far, I have done part 1 and part 2. And part 3. And it shows Lisa Marie Presley in good times. I think at the time she was living in England, and she had just given birth to her twins. So a good video to watch, because it's nice to see Lisa Marie when she was happy before everything went wrong. So that's that. Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, why did you become Elvis fans? Now, my story is very simple. Right, Tina, shh. My story is very simple. I was 4 or 5. I grew up in a restaurant. My father had a restaurant in this seaside town that we live in called Weston-super-Mare, and then so basically I found an old record in a box and an old record player, but this record player was a stand-up Philips record player that was a radio that you could slot records in that way. And the record was That's All Right and Mama. And I think the other one was I Just Can't Help Believing. It might have been an A and a B side. It was definitely RCA because I remember the orange RCA thing. I'm sure it was, and we're talking 1971 or 2. Yeah. And I just love the sound of this record. I kept playing it over and over again, both songs. And that completely intrigued me. And I wanted to know who Elvis Presley was. So my way was to go to the nearest newsagents and buy an Elvis magazine and some posters. I started putting up posters on my wall of Elvis. And then I started discovering all the different music and very quickly discovered his films were being run every Saturday in the UK in the early 70s. So as a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those sort of years, I fell in love with those movies. And no matter what people say about the cheesy, cornier films that Elvis made, I love them. I love seeing Elvis young and obviously handsome and with girlfriends and with cars and motorbikes and boats. And, you know, like Viva Las Vegas. And then you got the Hawaii films that just I, as a child, I thought the films were fantastic. Obviously, when you're older, you and you start analysing them from an adult's point of view. I now can look back, and the ones that were really good for me was like King Creole and Jailhouse Rock, a few others. I did like GI Blues and a few others. So I fell in love with the whole Elvis thing and watched the 1970s Las Vegas period, watched that unfold. And I think I remember the satellite screening of, the live by satellite around the world screening as a small child. And that sort of tied in with the Muhammad Ali fights that we all watched in the 70s. Anyway, so I was quite a shy boy. I had, can I say it politely? My parents didn't instill a lot of confidence in me, so I didn't have much self-belief. I felt ugly and I felt unconfident. So getting to know Elvis and learning about Elvis and reading about Elvis and watching his films, I started to relate to that and think, God, I'd love to be like Elvis. So I started brill creaming my hair with a cream that you buy and like an Elvis style, standing in the mirror for ages as a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old, trying to get my hair like Elvis. So I wanted to look like Elvis. I started dressing, like wearing my collar up and going to school. And I remember sitting in school assembly at morning prayer with my collar up and my hair gelled and feeling important because I was the only Elvis fan in my whole school. So, and people would ask me about my hair. I had Elvis Presley in glittered onto my school bag. And I felt that it made me feel important. Don't forget, other children were into different singers then, like the Bay City Rollers and David Cassidy, the Osmonds, but I liked Elvis. Yeah, I did. I also very much liked the Beatles because I also found a Sgt. Pepper's album, which I absolutely loved. But Elvis was the main one. Then the Beatles came second. So they were my two loves. And I did like Motown. I think my love of Elvis led me on to looking at other musicians like the Motown musicians, you know, the Jackson 5. And then I also discovered after Elvis, the Rat Pack. So, you know, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and all of the people in that following, you know, like with the Jerry Lewis specials And then I discovered the Jerry Lewis films with Dean Martin, and just that was my world. I immersed myself in that world. So Elvis, the Beatles, the Rat Pack, Motown. That was my world, and I just had this very old record player, and I would just sit playing all my records. And then I had a friend who had his mother had an amazing Elvis Presley album collection, so we would all go there and dance on his bed to Elvis. So I felt that my liking of Elvis brought me out of myself, took me out of my shell, made me more confident, made me more charismatic, and made me care more about my hair and how I dressed, and more confident when talking to girls, and more funny, because I think I would imitate the way Elvis acted in his movies, and I think that brought another side of me out of myself. And I just think really from a very young age that Elvis's influence on me, obviously he will never know this, Elvis's influence on me and my life then expanded to me getting into business with my twin brother, because I'm a twin, there's two of us, and getting into business very young. We got into business around 19, 20, and first of all in catering, so like fast food takeaways, eventually in restaurants, and then in bars, and eventually in nightclubs, discotheques. And then that eventually led to me becoming a landlord and getting into property. And it all stems from this love of Elvis as a 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old, bringing me out of my shell. And can you guys tell me your story? Why did you become an Elvis fan? What was your first thing that got you to know who Elvis was? Was it to do with your parents, a family member? Was it seeing him on TV? Was it going to, if you're very fortunate, going to see his concerts? Was it buying his records, buying his magazines? You know, what was the thing that, and there's different kinds of Elvis fans. You've got an Elvis fan that once they discovered Elvis, were Elvis fans for their whole life, and it changed their life. Or you've got the Elvis fans that just come and go and just remember that they like Elvis and keep going back to Elvis. I'm a true non-stop Elvis fan. I've never been shy of it. I've always been proud of it. I do remember there was a period through the 90s where it wasn't cool to be an Elvis fan, and maybe even some of the 80s, but I was. And then eventually I became a DJ, and my DJing, I very much did play all the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s music. My DJing was very retro. I would play Elvis and the Beatles, and a big favorite of the Bee Gees, and I would play all of the classics, even Frank Sinatra. I would play them all, and a lot of Motown, a lot of Michael Jackson classics, and Jackson 5. And so I DJ'd for 24 years alongside running my businesses. So it really did affect me becoming an Elvis fan. And so I feel like I owe Elvis, like Elvis helped my life, and I'm indebted to him. So to me, running this channel, starting this channel was just easy for me, because it wasn't work. Because these videos can take hours and hours and hours, sometimes 7, 8 hours a day, maybe longer. But it doesn't feel like a chore to me, because it feels like a love to me. So if any of you out there want to share with me what got you into Elvis, I'd be really interested. Right, so Anthony Ken Bishop, how's it going? I've been a massive Elvis fan since I was little and love doing Elvis covers from time to time. All right, so you sing then, Anthony, is that correct? Where are you from, Anthony? And so today I'm planning on, let's have a look. I'm planning on finishing off my Lisa Marie Presley videos, and I thought I might do some on Riley Keough, because I feel like I haven't done enough videos on Riley Keough, or Keough, however you say it, and on Benjamin, and I've done none on the twins at all because they're so young. I don't like to, but I'd like to do something to do with the twins. So other than just doing videos just on Elvis or Priscilla or the Memphis Mafia or ex-girlfriends, I'd like to sort of broaden that a bit. I really enjoyed making my Sammy Davis Jr. and Tom Jones videos. They really did get a massive reaction. And one of my Sammy Davis Jr. videos talking about Elvis has had 92,000 views. Now that is amazing. That's on my Instagram channel. And if I go by my phone on my YouTube channel and I go by the most viewed, actually this is an interesting thing to go through. So my most viewed short, this is Priscilla Presley with Lisa Marie recalls the day Elvis died. And that has had, you'll be amazed, 757,000 views. Isn't that just crazy? And over on TikTok, my channel has had some that have had over 1 million views. Anthony Bishop. I'm from West-Supermare. My mum and dad used to come into your restaurant when I was little. And yes, I love singing songs and got into Elvis when I was 8 years old and been a fan ever since. Wow. Anthony Kenneth. Oh, you need to add me on Facebook. Then that's amazing. So when you say you come in my mum and dad's restaurant, Anthony Kenneth Bishop. So this is the one in the 70s that my parents ran on Richmond Street. Is that correct, Anthony? It's such a small world. Anthony. That's just amazing. And I wonder how you found my channel. Did you find it from my Facebook? Because I know I do put links on there sometime. You might know Paul Pavlou because he also helped me get into the Elvis thing because it was his mum that had this amazing Elvis collection. Oh, I know Anthony. Right, okay, Anthony. Yes. Is this you? Have I got the right one? Because you've got your own. But I do remember when you and your brother used to come in. And you guys made our day. Oh, thank you. That's good. So, yeah, all right. Of course, I remember you. Yeah, Anthony, and I remember your dad as well. And you used to come into the one that was on Regent Street. So you've got your own channel as well, haven't you, Anthony? Is that? I'm sure I've watched your channel. Is that correct? Oh, your mum was very sweet, Anthony. She was lovely, and yeah, no, I think some of your videos are to do with cooking. Is that correct? But you know that I run a carnivore diet channel that because the carnivore diet really fixed my health. Yeah, so I got rid of eating sugar and bread and pasta and rice and chocolates and sweets and all that, and it transformed my health. Hello, right, Patty, Chris. Hi, Patty. Elvis Kingdom, yeah, 1964. I can't think of a better era to be born in the 60s. We are so lucky that we were born in the 60s. And Patty, what got you into Elvis? What was the reason? Was it your parents or just going to school and buying his records? You sure did, Patty. I'm in a southwest UK, and actually we've had terrible weather today. It's been really bad. He sure is. My kids have been watching children's films lately, and they're all based on Elvis. I say to my kids, you know that's Elvis, don't you? And one of my elder kids were watching a zombie film. And what was it called? And even that, it was based at Graceland's. I'm trying to remember what it was called. What's that zombie film called? Do you know? It's what's it called? It's called I can't remember what it's called. And it's all based around Graceland. I found your channel through listening to Elvis karaoke song. Yeah, so it just suddenly come up. Yeah, is that on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram? Probably YouTube, but
it's on zombies.
Yeah. So I hope you're doing well, Anthony. Has life been good for you? Yeah, YouTube, yeah. YouTube is my favourite. I like YouTube. And I like the support YouTube gives you as well. They're very good. And my brother's got a YouTube channel, but his is on Ham Radio. And it's called Hamtech, Hamtech, Hamtech. And he really enjoys that. It's Ham Radio. How many singers, bands, and backup singers can you name? He was larger than life. I'll let you do that. I'm watching from Oklahoma, United States. Wow. I want to come to America. I want to go Graceland. That's what I want to do. I'm 57 in July, so I'm thinking of going on my 60th birthday. Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, we did, Patty. And even now, I still only listen to all the classic stuff from the 50s, 60s, even the 40s. That's what I like. You've been to Graceland, have you? Oh, I really want to go. I know that it's all massively being expanded now, and all the footage is there. They're doing a show in London at the moment, with all of Elvis's stuff and memorabilia. Yeah. All right, bring it over here. Show me. My kid's behind me on his phone. He's addicted. All children in the world are addicted to their phones. Yes, I agree with that, Patty. I agree, and I still feel that way now. Sometimes I don't even feel like it's past. Right, come and sit on my lap here. Do you want to sit here? Sit on this chair. Look, I'll fix it for you. It's all right, I'll fix it for you. This is my addicted son. Do you want to sit on my lap? Right, let's have a look. Tino is free. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. See if I can fix his phone for him. So you like to go on Roblox, isn't it? Is it Roblox you want to go on?
Yeah.
Right, you try and do it. Right. Oh, that's nice. But so anyway, someone said hello to you. Patty said hello to you. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have to go soon. I have children, 2 foster children, and 7 grandkids. Whoa! I want grandkids.
Look what happened again.
No, I don't know why it's doing that. I want grandkids, Patty. Let's have a look. Keep going. What's that? I've watched your marathon videos when you were getting ready. Yes. That's good, Anthony. I did 3 half marathons, and I did about 10 10-mile runs and about 20 10K runs. So I'm 50 because I'm nearly 57. My wife's 41. So I do have a thing where, because my wife is younger than me, I want to stay slim and I want to stay healthy. But I did have a problem where I was eating too much sugar, bread, pasta, rice, sweets, chocolates, pizzas, all that kind of stuff. And I'd put on weight and I felt very unwell and my energy levels had really reduced. So when I stopped all those foods and went to the meat, eggs, fish, it really did. I got my health back within 2 months. And let me just tell you what the name of the channel. I've got a channel that I use for my diet loss and my health gain. I'm not trying to promote it, but it's called Carnival Flexing Diets. Let's have a look. Let's get it on here. See if I can get it up. See, Carnival Flexing Diets. Let's have a look. Louis World. And that shows exactly how I got my health back, what I eat, and the health benefits it gave for me when I started eating more meat, eggs, and fish, and fatty meat. Right. when we took my oldest foster son to college in Tennessee, his one request was to see Graceland. Yeah. See, now my kids aren't Elvis fans. I'm hoping they will be when they're older. They actually find it all embarrassing. My other hobby is I restore classic cars, and my kids don't like classic cars. So I have Elvis playing all the time around the house. And because I'm making Elvis videos regularly, Elvis is always on somewhere. I'm always in one of the rooms, either listening or making Elvis stuff. And I'm a very proud Elvis fan. And I don't care what people say. I boast that I'm an Elvis fan. Even my hair, everyone says, get rid of your quiff. I obviously dye my hair black because I'm 57. My hair's quite grey. And you'll never stop me being an Elvis fan. Ever. And my twin brother loves Elvis as well. So that's it. So today, my plan is to try and make a couple more. I do have to squeeze the videos in because some days I just don't have the time to do them. So sometimes I do them in bits. So I'll break them up over a few days and then piece them back together. And I'm always copyrighting my stuff so that because I don't want YouTube to be unhappy. So I'm always quite careful. Your kids love Elvis, Patty. Lucky you. I wish mine did. I'm hoping mine will. Let's have a look. So let me just read some of this. When we took our oldest foster son to college in Tennessee, one of his requests was to see Graceland. So we went, when he passed away, we watched his funeral for 3 solid days. It was massive. Yes, I've done a lot of videos on the funeral, a lot. And they're so touching and moving. But I really like making them. And there's a lot of footage of that funeral and the day of the announcement of Elvis passing and the following day and those days. And I found loads of news clips where they're talking about Elvis in 1977 in August from all around the world. And I've posted quite a lot of these news clips. They're very, very interesting. I have 5 sisters and my mother is 94. Only thing we have left in common is Elvis. Yeah. So my mother is 80. She's in a nursing home, but 94. Wow. That is amazing. And yes, so your mum was obviously an Elvis fan and your 5 sisters, you must have had fun with 5 sisters. And and you all Elvis fans. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it was wall-to-wall coverage. It was. And it's all, and that footage is all over YouTube, and it's some of it is so realistic. Like you really feel you're there, and it really captures the atmosphere. So Anthony, I put my cover songs over on Rumble so I don't get copyright because I just do them for fun. Yeah, that's fine, but mine I don't want to get copyright, so I am careful. I don't tend to have songs in my videos. It tends to be documentary or biography style videos, or me narrating on the videos, talking about my views or other people's views. I tend to stick to that, you know. So I am careful because every now and then I'll get it wrong, and then I get told off. So I'll delete it and remake it. But Let's have a look. We are rodeo people. 6 girls, 17 horses, and all we did was travel. Elvis always on the radio. Yeah, he was. And you're into your horses. Well, Elvis was as well, didn't he? Elvis had, I think he had 18 horses, I think, and one was I got to remember all this. The Rising Sun. Was it a Golden Palomino? And I think he had a black horse called Hawk. Is that right, Patty? And he bought Priscilla Presley. Yes, the Rising Sun. And he bought Priscilla Presley her first horse, which was a black, it might be Hawk. Because Elvis had a bit of a scare on movie set with a horse, and it put him off horses. But then he one day decided to buy Priscilla a horse, and he would sit in his office window, looking out his window, watching Priscilla riding up and down on this horse that he had bought her. And this got him thinking, oh, I want a horse. and it revitalized his passion for horses, because he did love being a cowboy. And yeah, I know all about the stables at Graceland, and I know that the Graceland stables, he named the House of the Rising Sun, and I know the horses were alive for many years after he passed. And there's even a very good Priscilla Presley documentary that shows her in the stables, and I'm actually going to do a video on that. And I think the Rising Sun lived for quite a few years after Elvis passed. And I know that he spent a lot of time in the stables. He would even cool the horses after they'd been for a ride and they were very hot. He would brush them down and cool them down. And he made sure the stables were state of the art and very well looked after. And I know that they had a stable hand woman that looked after the Graceland horses after Elvis passed for years and years. And she may still do it now unless she's passed away. Yes, and that's the other thing. But yeah, and I read that with Rising Sun, they find a horse that was the same bloodline, or was it Hawk? And so the horses are from the same generation. Yeah, our horses are beautiful, and Elvis loved that, and I think Priscilla did as well. They absolutely love their horses, and it's well known that Elvis bought all of the Memphis Mafia horses as well. And Elvis would race up and down the Graceland fields in front of the fans, showing off his horses. And and I think on the Rising Sun, he would dress up like a cowboy, but on Hawk, I think it was, he would dress it in more sort of with his hat and different clothing. And he would even ride down to the gates on his horses and sign signatures and autographs and talk to the fans. And I've got a few videos of him smoking, I'm sure, and leaning down, signing autographs. And I have done a video on Elvis's passion for horses. Let's have a look. So, have a good day. The Trump trial is starting. I'm going to follow that today. Yes, my brother is a Trump fan. And I don't mean a fan like what I mean is that he's my brother is very interested in anything Trump and regularly updates me on what's happening with Trump and finds it fascinating. So enjoy it, Patty. It's very interesting. And do you think he's going to be the next president? You tell me. And do you think he'll go to jail? And they're saying that even if he does go to jail, that he can still be president from jail. Is that true? What do you think, Patty? Right, I think I'm going to end it at that. I'll just let Patty remark. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go off and make some more videos on Elvis, Priscilla, and I've been getting dozens of comments about Priscilla recently, and they can be quite cruel. So they do bring a smile to my face sometimes. So I do feel sorry for Priscilla, I must admit. Okay, guys, you stay safe, Anthony. Nice to see you, mate. If I see you in the street, I'll say hello. And look up my diet channel, because I think you might find it interesting, because obviously that you do that, don't you, on your channel with your recipes. All the best. Okay, mate. Bye, Patty. If you're still there, peace out. I'm going to give you a wave as I say goodbye.